Hey, hello. It is I, almost perfectly on time this time. There she is, the counting countess. Yeah, she's a counting countess. She's a killer G, but we just know her as Chloe. And we got Witch Moon. Okay. So let's see who else wanders in as they finally figure out that yes, we are actually on at the time stated, and not early and not late. Whee! Hey, hey. So, there you go. Did you like your crystals? Crystals. Oh, you're talking to Witchy or something. Hi, Gladys. Hello, Gladys. Gladys Q. Kravitz. Okay. So tonight I thought I would just kind of have it be a night where we're just discussing stuff we heard. Okay. Whether it's true, whether it's false, well, we can hash out all that, but it's fun to discuss. Okay. So, I mean, some of it is pretty wild. Some of what looks to be going on is pretty wild. Gee, if some of the stuff we've discussed in here wasn't wild enough, right? We've discussed wild shit. I mean, it's right on the tin. Deep woo. We do the deepest woo. And by the way, hi, I'm Diane, which is where the D comes from. D, ocean's deepest woo. Deep woo. The deepest of woo. Deep, deep, deep woo. We go to the depths of woo. How about you? Well, here we go. Oh, is it Gladys? Okay, everybody, wait. We'll wait until more people come in. Then we'll all sing "Happy Birthday" to Gladys Q. Kravitz. Yes. So, oh my God! Don't tell me I'm already yawning. And it's only 8:30. 8:33. No, 33. Oh my God! But I've been cleaning. Yeah, you know how that takes it out of you. Cleaning, moving shit around, sorting stuff. Oh, sorting stuff. Oh, yeah. Oh, trying to sort shit out. Oh, but there's Michelle Canham Free. Okay, now we're starting to get the people rolling in here. So I just thought what we need is what I need is a Kleenex because my nose is just dripping all over the place. Oh, sorry. What we need is just to discuss every now and then, discuss all this weird shit that we hear about, right? Okay. Hmm. Wow. Isn't that interesting? Which rhymes with E rhymes with three and backwards. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. You're currently in the grocery store. In the grocery store. She is in the grocery. Oh, okay. So she is spreading the vibe through the grocery store. Now, there we go. Still haven't found an exact time for fairies. Perry's playing. Anyway, so just to talk about some weird shit we've heard. And I kind of expect you guys to cough up some of the stuff, weird shit you've heard too in the news, in the cosmic news. And so some of the weird shit we've heard in the news, that could be almost anything, okay? I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be paranormal. It can be something else. It can be related to food, related to politics, related to whatever. Just weird shit. Okay, so if you tonight is the night to bring it forward if you got some in your back pocket that you've heard about. But in the world, let's face it. So it's not like there's any lack of material here. I'm sure we'll find plenty. One of the things up for question is how much of what we're seeing out there is real when we look at the night sky. How much of that's real when we look at the sky at all? How much of that's real? That's one question. Another question is Mud Fossil University Roger right about Jupiter being pregnant? What the hell am I talking about? I am trying to get Roger on the show. I'm going to try and get him on the show. I swear, somehow I'm going to get him on the show. I don't know how. If you all know how to get a hold of Roger, I want him on my show. Go over to his show and tell him that he needs to come on my show. Okay. Because I think he's a genius, really. He kind of reminds me once in a while, he kind of reminds me a little bit of the guy from Fringe, or maybe the guy who in Back to the Future made the time traveling DeLorean. He's got the crazy professor type vibe to him, but I don't think he's really crazy. I mean, I don't think he's wrong, you know? He just thinks outside the box. And that's important. These days, it's going to be very important. Because we're going to have to, we're going to have to think outside the box. It's going to be mandatory. Okay. That's my sense of it. What's coming? We're going to have to think outside the box. We cannot be thinking in limited ways to deal with what's coming. I think really you'll be hurt a lot less if you stay flexible with your attitudes. That's my take on this, is that reality is really far weirder than we even have conceived. Okay. Far stranger than we even have thought about. Okay. However, things that they've been telling us for years, that we've been hearing for years from various mediums and channels and things, there are some things like from the Pleiadians, from the Pleiadian books and stuff, from some of the channels, the channelers, stuff that we've been told for a long, long time that we haven't really fully understood. And even dreams and stuff I had, premonitions I had way back that I didn't really understand and what the heck they were referring to. But we're in that time. It exists. This stuff is showing itself to exist. So really, it would behoove us, to hoover up. No, it would behoove us to Not behoovers, but okay. Well, anyway, yeah, that's complicated. No, well, it's, our duty to figure this out if we want to take a look at some of these theories, some of these so-called conspiracy theories, because we know in this day and age, we've only got maybe a year to 6 months before they become facts. So, yeah, where is Scotty? Where is the pantless wonder? Oh, right, it's real, just not what we think. Um, well, I don't think anything is quite what we think it is. My gist of it is we're we've been vastly just knocked myself vastly misled, vastly, and I don't mean half-vastly. Anyway, I don't mean half-vastly. We have been misled. Okay. My hair doesn't quite look the way I want it to, so get in line, you. Yeah, it's basically no doubt about one thing is we've been lied to our whole lives, okay? And this whole history thing and all the history we spent so many long, boring hours in school learning, most of it's just bogus BS, right? It's bullshit. Okay, so what does that mean? That means we kind of got to find our own answers. What was really going on? Fortunately, we have a tool. We do have a tool. We have several tools, in fact. There is what they call fables. Now, the thing about fables is what if they're not really fables? Like, what if they're not fake? What if they're like real? I mean, they also call that all of the stories about the gods and everything in India, right? The Western culture does. But in truth, they consider it history. And I think in that regard, they got the jump on us because they have not disregarded their history as mere fables. Okay? So, looking at it like that, I mean, it could even be, well, yeah, a lot of these stories that we have, even about Paul Bunyan, like, remember in America, Paul Bunyan, how big he was, how big his ox was? His ox, Babe, and how strong they were. They could have been real, knowing what we know. Were there giants? Yeah, we have that from many books around the world, many writings around the world. We even have it on stone, written in stone, for Pete's sakes. But yes, there were giants. Yes. We have it depicted that there were people, bigger people and smaller people. So our history is bogus. The history we've been taught is largely bogus. Here's something else most people don't know. A lot of as a matter of fact, the Hebrews lost, and the, there are people who know this and people that don't, but the Hebrews actually lost their original scriptures and had to rewrite them from memory. That's why there's so much that's one of the reasons why there's so much plagiarism in the Bible, is because they had to rewrite them based on other writings to remind them what all was going on. Now, even if they had longer lives and different abilities, there's going to be some serious omissions when you're trying to write everything out by memory, unless you have an eidetic memory, and we're not sure that that's what happened. So, okay, chat is not moving. Somebody type something to let me know that this thing hasn't frozen. Because I haven't seen anything since Chloe said doc. So if somebody came in or somebody is typing, the chat is frozen and I cannot see you. Let me try typing something. I'll put the link in so that you can come in if you want. Okay, Witchy, I just saw your heart. Okay, there's the link. So if anybody wants to come in and talk about anything, please do come on in and talk. So basically, if we're looking into our history, we're looking at, we're going to have to relook. We have been relooking. A lot of people have been looking into the Sumerian tablets. A lot of people have been looking into who the Anunnaki gods were. You know, the Anunnaki gods more by the name of Anunnaki or Anunnaki. Anunnaki, Anunnaki, Anunnaki. Did they have wacky tobacco back in the Anunnaki days? They had beer. We know they had beer because they said they had beer. They were very fond of beer. And they even got themselves drunk and then created life. And we have continued that tradition in our culture. How many people? How many people are only here because somebody got drunk on beer? But anyway, oh, you're all listening. I see. Okay. Okay. Um, okay, so basically I'm sitting here and I'm going, you know what? We've got to take some of this shit seriously. Or at least open our minds to the fact that some of this was serious. Maybe not all the details, right? Maybe they were slanted one way or another. Maybe they were slanted to in favor of whoever was writing it or paying to have it written, because in some cases, not everybody wrote. People were either paying or maybe they were writing it under threat of death if they didn't, which is what happened with most of the King James Bible. People who were translating that were under a death threat if they didn't write it. The King James could, I mean, he had ultimate power. He could have all kinds of horrible things done to you if he didn't like the way that you were translating the texts. So you got to look at it from that context, okay? And that, no pun intended. So the older versions of the Bible are so different, so different. For instance, um, the Ukrainian people, they'll tell you like right off that the Ukrainian Bible is way different and has an entirely different um, explanation of things and a different way of looking at things. Like, for instance, sin is not something you do because you're evil, inherently evil. Sin just means you blew it, you missed the mark. Just, it translates literally to missing the mark, which is not the same. And then the whole idea is, okay, you screwed up this time, do it right next time. You just keep trying to do it right. Eventually you will hit the mark. So, which is an entirely different way than a lot of people look at it in our culture. So we have to kind of look at these things with fresh eyes, not um, not just taking for granted what people who have been, coasting along with the status quo have been saying for years and, have been telling us, have been giving us our opinion. It's like when you're being given an opinion, and we have been given our opinions a lot of times from the time we're very young all the way up through. We have not been allowed to really know what's actually going on. And so that's why it's those rebellious people that actually figure things out. And if you think about it, it's the kind of rebels of history who end up figuring things out for the most part, right? And then as soon as they figure it out and start telling other people, terrible things happen to them. That's the other effect that we notice. The very bad things happen because it's different from what the status quo wants to hear, right? And then later on, maybe they're totally exonerated, but it's way too late because they're under the ground by that time, right? Has it ever been safe to tell the truth in human history? Not so that I can see. I don't really think that it has. It doesn't seem to have ever been safe at all to tell the truth, to be a truther of any generation. Because it's going to rattle somebody's cage, and it's usually somebody with more, more guns than you got, right? And if they decide that it's going against something that they're set with, then you're lost. So, but I think we're going to have to think outside the box to figure out what's really going on. Those of you who have been thinking outside the box for years and years, I really commend you, but you already know that most of you are star seeds, okay? Most of you came here to help Earthies raise themselves above their rather horrific um, situation that they're in here. And I would venture to say that almost everybody in my channel, everybody who comes into my channel, is probably a starseed type who came here to help the people of Earth get out of their cage. And we're going to be the instigators of a jailbreak, okay? I keep getting that. I've gotten that as a message. Tonight there's going to be a jailbreak. We're going to have a jailbreak episode that's going to be really epic, an epic episode, okay? When this is finally cleared, when the hurdles are finally cleared, we're going to have uh, definitely, definitely uh, more freedom. We're going to be able to maybe tell the truth safely for the first time in the history of our species on this planet in a long, long time. Maybe they could talk truthfully in Atlantis. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's right. We're instigators. Wait a minute. No, the instigators are the other side. You know how they just turn into alligators just randomly? Wouldn't that be instigators? Oh, you mean instigators, like we're making shit happen. Yeah, you're exactly right, Witchy. Instigators. Yeah, that kind of gator. So basically, we are the ones that knew before we came that we had this ability, that we had this power, that there was our ability to do this, that we were able to do this. We just forgot. Okay. But we had this ability, or we wouldn't have come. We wouldn't have bothered to come. So, therefore, when I say I'm here to help you reclaim those godlike superpowers that really were not superpowers. Everybody had them. They weren't really that, they were common, but today they're going to look like superpowers, right? These days they're going to look like superpowers. When I say that, what am I? I'm kind of like your drill sergeant in boot camp. When I say, do your breathing exercises, do your meditation, you know, listen to the tones to help you get over and get through all of your shadows, do your shadow work, uh, do attempt to flex your psychic muscles, you know, do these things so that you will be ready for the job that you came to do and you don't miss it because it's going to be pretty epic and you're going to get to be a hero. Hmm. Hey, Indie Groove. How you doing? Indie Groove. Okay. Somebody got to do it, say it, and be it. That's right, Witch Moon. That's right. Somebody's got to. And I really think that some of these shows that we've seen about mutants and their abilities and stuff, I really think that they are, and how they treat the mutants, they always treat them like they're terrified of them. I really think they're referring to us. Okay, that's us. We're those people walking around that look like everybody else, but we're not like everybody else, right? We can do some pretty wild stuff, but we can't let everybody else know that. Wow, it'll be so nice when we have a community, and I'm intending this, please intend this with me, that we somehow have a nice community where we can all get together and just share our thoughts. Maybe we won't agree on everything, but at the end we'll hug and still love each other and maybe disagree. But, it's like where we will be able to openly share our thoughts, be able to bring up subjects that may be unusual or uncomfortable and get some kind of feedback and not worry that we're going to be offered a glass of hemlock because we did that. And, uh, you know, yes, some would say that's just a dream, but I think it's achievable. So let's see. Let's take, I've even given some thought to things like flat Earth. Okay, we know we've been lied to. Let's think it through. And I thought it through and I studied it. I looked at it. I gave it a thought. What the heck, you know? Um, give it a thought just like everything else. There were so many things that I thought was absolutely ridiculous until I got smacked in the face with it, right? So, okay, I thought it through and I did my research and it just doesn't wash for me. It just doesn't. Just doesn't wash. But the fact that you actually opened your mind up enough to give it a thought is an important indicator that you are willing to think outside the box. So if you are wrong about something, say you step outside the box and you find out, no, you're wrong about that. That's not a bad thing. because at least you had an open enough mind. You were smart enough to know that you've got to keep questioning. You got to keep questioning. There's another zing. That's from my clock in the bathroom. I have a clock that goes zing on the hour. But, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, okay, what is Roger talking about? Like I said, Mud Fossil Roger, man, I want him on the show. I got questions for him. But he just had a live, and he was talking about Jupiter being pregnant and the red spot being a vagina, not an eye, and why he thinks so. And because the changes that have been taking place in that area on Jupiter are congruent with what happens to a vagina when a woman is getting ready to give birth, which means, is Jupiter really a female planet? We are presented with it as a male, but every god has a male and female side. Every god has a divine counterpart. And in the case of Jupiter, that counterpart was Juno. So when the Greeks, who was predominantly male society, okay, that was predominantly male. I mean, they were so predominantly male that males really, you know, well, anyway, males really liked each other so much. I mean, they didn't care as much for women, but they needed women. It seems like in some of these great thinkers had very little use for women. But well, that's okay because the women had very little use for some of them too. That was just the way it was, and nobody thought too much about it. It was just the way people are, and they were more about, hey, people are the way they are. They're not, you know, it wasn't the kind of stigma that it is now. And furthermore, when you understand the Greeks, when you go back into that, and I used to think it was so funny because I lived near a college and they would talk about the Greek way, this and that, and I would sit there and try to bite my tongue and not say the Greek way. You mean up the poop chute? Because males and females in the Greek, in the early Greek culture, the classic times that we talk, you only had to be a vaginal virgin. So they, yep, when they had their fun, it was bad. It was backdoor, and that's both sexes, males and females. So you only had to be a vaginal virgin. Okay, and that was only so that they knew who's how to divide the spoils of their wealth, right? How to divide their wealth. Okay. They wanted to know the bloodlines. But as far as just run around having fun, that wasn't that big of a deal. Okay. So, and that's why. And that's probably why also. And I figured this out. That's why some of these statues, these massive statues, and you see the guys, and they have very unimpressive members, you know, and how they had this. There is this in classical, in those circles, for the longest time, there was this idea that a large banana was somehow very brutish and that a smaller one was more civilized. Well, if you're a society where you're mostly backdoor, that would be a lot kinder than having something, um, I mean, Monty Python was right on us with Biggest Dickus and his wife Incontinentia buttocks. But So, but that's Greek times, but yet they had some thoughts. They had thoughts, okay, that were very uh wide ranging and out of the box. And of course they got in trouble for that. They always got in trouble for that. But they gave us some very great thoughts throughout history. We have looked back to them and go, oh yes, some very very good thinking on their part, some interesting logic, bringing up great points. We've actually based our governments on them. However, when they start talking about things like Atlantis, oh, that all goes out the door, right? All that goes out the door. Plato, Socrates, they start talking about anything like Atlantis or any of that stuff that we've been taught is myth. Oh, well, that's just myth. You know, all of a sudden the credibility goes out the freaking door. There you go, witchy. Right. So, yes, I can see the emoji. This is great because for the longest time on StreamYard, we couldn't see the emojis, but I am seeing those emojis. So I am very happy about that. So basically, we have been selling these people short for years. What have they been telling us? Just the honest truth as they know it. What if they've always told us the truth? So here's Roger, Mud Fossil University Roger, and he is saying Jupiter's pregnant. The red spot's a vagina. I can prove it. And of course, he gets in trouble because he's showing pictures what it would look like on a human female. And it's just a drawing, it's not porn, it's just for education. Now, we could probably get by with that on my show because my show is definitely not for children. I do not want any children to be, I don't want the responsibility of having children up in here. Okay. I want us to just be able to speak plainly as adults. I don't want us to have to pull back anything because of children. Okay. That's the reason why. Not because I don't like children. I like children. Children are fine. I would love it if things were more like the old days where this was, the parents' discretion and then it was like the burden was on the parents to watch them and make sure that they got the right info that the parents wanted them to have. But we're not in those times anymore. Okay, we're not in those days. So we've got to think more along the lines of we need to be able to express our ideas without worrying about how that may affect the next generation. That is the parents' business. If they want to let their kids hear the show, that's fine. That's just fine with me. But don't come back on me for that, okay? If I say something that upsets you, okay? So just getting to that part, just getting through that. So Mud Fossil Roger has been beat up in so many realms. I mean, and then later on, they will take his theories and act like they came up with them out of nowhere. He'll send his theories off to these academicians. And they'll go, oh, that's so silly. Oh, that crazy old Raja. And then they'll come up with something based on it because it has merit. And they'll say that they came up with it all on their own. I don't think that's fair, you know? Oh, you put your inner child to bed, but Witch Moon and I are present. Okay, well, children should be to bed around now. Oh, you contacted your ex-husband via Facebook and wonder if he will respond? Oh, you know what? I haven't heard from my ex in years, and I'm just fine with it. If you still have some kind of a relationship with your ex and you can do that and it's okay, wow, I'm impressed and more power to you. I certainly couldn't do that. Certainly had trouble with that, but then again, um, ran into him online a few years back. We had the same old trouble we had. It reminded me of all the reasons why we broke up in the first place. So, um, yeah, all those reasons were still there and still valid. Too bad about that. So, anyway, what I'm getting to, and I guess I'm stalling a little bit by way of explanation, but I am explaining how we got to this point. So, Roger, when he sees things differently. He's gone pretty deep into biology, into what biology is like and what it looks like and what the structures are. And when he looks at that structure and says it's acting like a vagina, I have a tendency to believe him, even though it's a wild theory. Okay, it's one of the wildest theories. Maybe not, because back in those legendary days, we hear of how Venus came out of the head of Zeus. Zeus, as we know, was Jupiter, okay? Was the planet Jupiter. That's what planet Jupiter was named after, was Zeus, or vice versa. So now here's the thing, Jupiter, Jove, and then the female counterpart. Um, so so Juno, which is the female counterpart, actually, I have not found it yet, but it would be interesting to see from a different point of view what kind of things were happened to Juno. Like who did she give birth to, for instance? Because I don't know, I can't remember right now. I probably can, and that is something I can look up, and maybe I will, and see if I can piece together any kind of history from that. But we do know a few things that are, here we go, alternative history. So we know them, but we don't know them. Science is not backing them up. But history is, although not the history that we've been told, the history that's on stone tablets and stone walls and stone statues. That kind of history, and cave paintings. That kind of history. That kind of historical reference. It's okay. You can't find it with a Dewey Decimal System, but it's there. It's still history. And it's not just, I'm sorry, I'm not taking it. I am not taking it as merely fables. No, I don't think that they spent that much time carving this shit into stone just to babble about some bullshit in their head, right? Okay, I don't think so. I think they were trying to record something for some reason. I think it was damn important, and I think the reason they put it in stone is so it lasted, so it couldn't be destroyed. Because if you think about our culture, now that our most of our culture, we're going away from everything that is hard copy, into everything electronic. And one big EMP, and that's going to be gone. If it's not written down somewhere, it's going to be gone. And even if it's written down somewhere, how long is that going to last? Those library books are going to be gone. Okay. Those library books are going to be long turned to dust. Tapes, memory cards, thumb drives. It's all going to be gone. In 1,000 years, thousands of years, there will be none of that stuff left. And how do we know that they didn't have that kind of thing? Because you know what? If it existed, it might not have been preserved. It might not have been preservable. Look at how much of our stuff will not be preserved in that kind of a situation. How much stuff of ours will they find in the future? They won't even find most of our buildings because our buildings are not as strong as their buildings, as those old buildings. Hello. Hi, sweetie. Oh, I'm glad, Chloe. We were like 18 young. Okay. Well, that figures. You were known each other that long and stuff. Um, and you're still friends. Like I said, just, it would be nice if I could do that. Um, but I can't. It just it wouldn't work. Anyway, um, I kind of wish sometimes that it would have worked that way, that we could have stayed friends. Oh well. But in any event, okay. The last time Jupiter, I guess what I am hedging and beating around the bush. And no pun intended, because Roger was talking about showing us where the hairline was on Jupiter. But so beating around the bush. But anyway, yeah, Roger made some very interesting explanations. We know, the scientists know, that the spot on Jupiter has changed in our lifetimes a great deal and has gotten rounder. And there's also, well, there's a lot of stuff happening that is, Roger is saying it's almost the same process as when a woman is giving birth. Well, the last time that Jupiter gave birth was Venus, and it nearly destroyed us. It was cataclysmic when Venus went whizzing past us. And it did kind of skid right across Mars and effed Mars up good. So the last time Jupiter popped out a planet, it was catastrophic. And unfortunately, he was also talking about Venus rotating the wrong way, opposite of everybody else. Why? Because it skidded right across Mars and destroyed Mars's atmosphere. And then it also Venus is cooked. It is not well, at least on the surface, it appears to be too hot to support our kind of life. Not that there aren't people necessarily in there that have the ability to mitigate that sort of thing. I mean, when you have the kind of technology that can turn on a dime, which means inertial canceling and possibly even heat and acid canceling, maybe you don't even have. Maybe you can even throw yourself out of phase with the atmosphere, so you could hide in a planet like that for quite a long while if you had the right technology. And that's probably what's going on. That's what we're told is going on, is that there really is life on Venus, but it's very advanced, and they're there because it's like a fortress. Less advanced beings cannot penetrate Venus. It is too inhospitable, it's too hostile. So, which is good thinking, actually. It makes sense to me. So, what I'm saying is, we might be on the verge of yet another catastrophe, depending on when that thing pops out. Okay? When that birth is given, when that being comes into the world, when that new planet comes into to our reality, are we going to be target practice? Because if we are, that could really be bad for us. Last time, like I said, last time they have a record of it, and you can access the Thunderbolts project. They will talk to you about what exactly was going on with that, and how that happened, or how they think that must have happened. Let's put it that way. How they think it must have happened based on the science. And I was wondering what you guys thought of pregnant Jupiter. So here's the other thing. Most of us have been seeing. Oh, and that's Mud Fossil University, by the way, if you want to see Roger's theories and proof about, or evidence, not proof, but evidence, for what he is saying, you go to Mud Fossil University channel and take a look at what he's saying in his latest. It was live today, so I saw that. I was there for that. But he has mentioned it before, so that's one thing. The other thing is the moon maybe being replaced with a different moon. This is on the back channels that actually most of our stuff is getting replaced. The sun is going to kind of go into a different phase. Apparently, the planets and the archangels are kind of fluid gender wise and can be either. So, the sun is going into a female phase. Will gradually drift from a male phase into a female phase. And in the female phase of the sun, it's going to be sort of a kinder, gentler sun. It's going to be more of a nurturing sun. Whereas the sun we have now is more of a yang sun. We're going to have more of a yin sun. And that's interesting because I have two little sun pillars. I'll show them sometime. But I did paint one as a male and one as a female. And then I'm there going, well, that's just for balance. But then I thought, when I heard that, I thought, maybe, maybe I was picking up something, you know what I'm saying? Just maybe. So, and apparently during that time, so the story goes, we're going to have better weather all over the earth. It's going to be more temperate and everywhere. And the sun is going to be much more nurturing. And that's going to be interesting. So let's hope for that. The moon also will be changing in its nature from what it is now to a more, well, they're saying that there won't be any actual night, that eventually night will be a thing of the past because of the increased energy on the planet and because of the increased light energy on the planet. So eventually, well, there won't be any more night, any actual black, dark night anymore. There will be maybe a twilight for a while, but yeah, won't have an actual night like we have now. Well, that will be interesting. So, um, and it's all to do with the frequency change. So the new Earth, the nights will not be as dark and will actually get lighter until um, it's uh, we won't need the full moon so much to be able to see on a full moon night. We'll be able to see. But then again, we'll be in a different. We'll start to be getting used to the energies, and probably we'll see in a different way as well. So, so these are some of the changes that are supposed to happen, and that'll be interesting to experience. Um, some of the other strange events that are being talked about, well, that I've noticed. I think I've said I see this happens all the time. I go outside, I look up. Most of the time, there are no sky streaks. Every now and then, though, I I catch glimpses of the sky streaks and I'm upset. Sky streaks, I thought I got rid of those. Then I realized they cut off just before our property edge, the edge of our property. And sometimes resume on the other side, which is really weird, right? And I think this is a reminder to me that yes, I can do that kind of shit. I can do that kind of thing. And you can do that kind of thing. Be interesting. When we all can do that kind of thing, we'll have our own little oasis. Well, that may be part of the reason why the earth is temperate everywhere i- in the future. Hello, Max, viewing. We were already talking about something you would love, Jupiter's vagina. Where is Scotty? He would love this subject. I was kind of hoping that he'd be around for this. He would love planetary Gina, wouldn't he? Come on, Planet Gina. Jupiter Gina, jumping Jupiter Gina. Come on, Scotty. You know you'd be down for that. Yeah. So, on his live today, Fossil Roger was showing us Jupiter's Gina and how the structures on that spot on Jupiter correspond exactly to a woman's vagina. And he's probably going to get in trouble for it, and they're probably going to give him some kind of a, some kind of a. They're probably going to beat him up a little because they had that. YouTube's probably going to give him trouble because they give him trouble every time he does something like that. Oh yeah, Jupiter is yay and Libya is labia. That's right. He was going into great detail today and why he says it's getting ready to give birth. And he's very convincing about that. So I was just wondering what you guys thought about it. Such a thing. And are we going to have to duck this time when that sucker pops out? That's, I guess, a question for, what we need? We need to ask the ganja shaman about that. When would the numerology for that be, or maybe the astrology? We need Heather on, and we need Alex on, Alexander. Mars has one of a JJ. Oh, okay. Well, I believe you. I'm wondering, does the Earth have one? Probably. Do we know where it is? Have you found the Earth's Gina, John? Do we know where Earth's vajayjay is? Do 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 do. And by the way, I have the link up there if you want to come in. If anybody wants to come in. Oh, not have gotten good enough pics of Venus to be sure about Venus. Okay. Libya is Earth's vagina. Okay. That's Libya's labia. Okay. That is it. Okay. That is the vagina of the Earth. Is over in Libya. Interesting. Sexy talk. Bow chicka bow bow, huh? Right. Yeah, well, that would make sure that would make sense. Well, you know, if the other planets have one and Earth is a mother, then it would make sense. We call her Mother Earth. It would make sense she'd have a vagina somewhere, right? So, yeah, that's as likely as anything. And you're right. So you don't think it's probably another creature. You think it's probably the Earth's vagina rather than some creature's vagina. It could well be. Well, the Grand Canyon may be something else, but yeah. It's over 200 miles across. Yeah. So, well, here's a question. We keep hearing about a new Earth. Is Jupiter actually going to spit out a new Earth? I'm not sure how that would work. Energetically, this one's supposed to split from the old one. That's how we thought it was working. But if Jupiter is spitting out another planet, is getting ready to drop one, is that the new Earth? Because Jupiter seems to have planets that are similar to Earth. I mean, Venus is very similar in size. And if it wasn't for some of the um, conditions of it, it would be similar to Earth, or Earth would be similar to it. But of course, Earth is in the Goldilocks zone. And didn't apparently didn't skid off of Mars when it was popped out. Hey, what do I know? The Grand Canyon is male genitals. There you go. Yeah, and Nibiru Planet X supposedly on the back channels is a chunk of planet, is a kind of a meteor. I don't know about that. You know what, guys? I got to tell you the truth. I've said it before in this show. Planet X is my own personal Groundhog Day. It's my own Groundhog Day because it seems like Planet X is always about to come by. Next year, it'll be whizzing right by us. Next year, next year, next year. This year, it's coming this year. It's about to come. It's almost, and then I don't hear from it, hear about it for a while. Or sometimes we go through. There has been times when timelines that I've been in where we did have Planet X go by us, but um, it was decided to turn on both Merkaba fields of that planet and this one so that they would pass through each other with no harm. But of course, nobody was sure exactly what effects that would have. But who knows? Maybe it was the Mandela effects. And yet, so, oh, the male genitals are 50 miles long. Oh, there you go. So, well, there is some indication that planets are both genders, actually, in actuality. So that could be Earth's penis, because there's also in Egypt there was an Earth father as well. You know, we had the Native Americans had an Earth mother, they had an Earth father. Ah, so yeah, that's the question. Are they of the planet or of some creature that died on the planet and got fossilized? Good question. Interesting to speculate. Now, the interesting thing is, obviously, these planets have, pardon me, I'm having trouble breathing. I may sound like Darth Vader for a minute or two here. I'm having trouble breathing through my nose. My nasal passages are closing up. It's a little better. The ones that made our planet died, but somehow their eggs and semen mixed, maybe in the last ditch effort to make life. Who knows? Life finds a way. Oh, yeah. And then there's big old snake ball. And then size wouldn't really matter, would it? Hmm. Well, yeah, how do planets mate in the first place? We don't know that exactly either, do we? But maybe not like people do. Well, eventually we'll find out, I suppose. Yeah, they do not insert to exchange fluids. How disappointing. So, you know, yeah, lizard porn is really not as exciting as all that, I guess, then. Well, not all fish are like that, though. Fish have different ways of doing things. I have betta fish, and the betta fish, um, it's external in a way. It's not like we do it, for sure, but they do get together, and he literally squeezes the eggs out of her and then inseminates them. Seems pretty violent, actually. It's rather violent. There, and then it's a race. He's made a bubble nest, and the eggs that he can go down and grab and get up to the bubble nest in time, they he will nurture them into babies, and the eggs that she gets, she will eat. And so it's a race between him and her, life and death, literally. Um, if she eats them, they're never going to be baby fishes. The ones that he reclaims from the bottom where they fall, are going to be the ones that have a chance at life. It's very interesting, weird, very weird. And in that case, he's a house husband. He's a house husband. He takes care of the babies. He nurtures the little leggies until they're little fishies. And when they pop out of their eggs up in his bubble nest, yep. But then after they pop out of the bubble nest, at first they're in danger of being eaten and eaten by each other. So you have to really watch them. But yeah, some self procreate like Tiamat was said to do, and there are some species that can do that. And it was said that in a distant day, we did that. We could do that. Yada yada. Uh, yeah. So right, you have to remove her first of all, and because they will fight, right? And he will nurture those little fishy eggs, and he will keep them up in his bubble nest and be such a good daddy until they're born. And they're wiggling around and looking like food. So, yeah. So you have to, I guess at some point they become rivals. The ones that grow, manage to grow large enough, eventually become rivals, the males, and they fight each other to the death. Uh, Makes you wonder how they live this long, right? How do these little creatures make it in the wild? How do they really even exist with that kind of life cycle? Yep. Well, they may be some kind of intermediate phase, Max, between dragons and lizards and fish. And I mean, dragons may be some intermediate phase between fish and lizards because they're very old. So they could be based on that. Roe. Yeah, because I know roe means fish eggs. Michael row the boat ashore. So yes, female betas love fish eggs. It's funny. Females will often eat their eggs. For instance, everybody eats eggs. Everybody eats eggs. Okay. Even chickens eat their own eggs. Okay. Female beta fish eat their own eggs. People eat eggs. Everybody eats eggs. You know, people, the creatures do not refuse eggs. They're a nice hearty meal, I guess. Odd, huh? I like fish eggs. Yes, I like roe. Yes. Fish eggs, fish eggs. That song was really about fish heads. Ah, so caviar, yeah. I've had caviar before. It's not bad. It's not great. It's okay. I'm not, seeing where it's really worth the price in a lot of cases, but I do like the sushi with the orange roe on them. Oh, I love I love that. I love the little fish eggies on the sushi. Very fond of that. You remember the fish head song? Fish heads, roly poly fish heads, lying in the sun. Fish heads, laughing happy fish heads, eat them up, yum. In the morning, laughing happy fish heads. In the evening, floating in my soup. And the younger ones are going, what the hell are they talking about? What you talking about, Willis? Ah, yeah, it was a real song. Yes. Oh, Peachy just kissed me. Hey, Peachy, who's a beautiful kitty cat? Who is a sweet, beautiful little peachy kitty cat? Meow. Peachy, Peachy. Yeah, fish egg dip. Oh, that sounds good. Cured cod roe. Yeah. Interesting, isn't it? And a row is also a line where people live. Doesn't it make you wonder? That's also called a row. Hmm. Oh, yes, I was saying hi to Chloe. Oh, is Max up? Is Max awake? Cowboy dove under the bed for some reason and ain't coming out. 'Cause I dropped something earlier, and I was moving stuff around, and he has decided that when I'm moving stuff around, it's much safer for him to be in the cat cave, you know, because little kitties, for them, it's safer to be in the cat cave when people are moving stuff around. So, and he might be right. Mixed with olive oil and lemon juice and pureed tomato. That might be good. Yeah, that sounds good. Tara masalata. Yeah, yeah. Mine, he's had his stuff for the day and he's sleeping it off under the bed. Yep, he's sleeping it all off under the bed. All his partying, all his wild partying. He got brushed. I let's see. This is how far I am with the spinning cowboy fur. There we go. There he is. That's cowboy hair. Cowboy fur right there. That's it. Be like Angora. Tara equals Gaia. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Tara and Gaia, same thing. And interesting that what we call Earth is after Ea. Ea is Inky's name, is Inky's actual name. Ea. Earth. Ah, they're saying they love you, cowboy. You sure you don't want to come out? So he's one of those lovers that just kind of rolls over and forgets about you afterwards, right? After all the treats and tummy rubs and mhm. Yeah, it's kind of that way here, but at least managed to save us from being in a deep freeze. We're not in a deep freeze. This is just pretty normal fall weather for us. Oh, really? You have enough for all you? Chai latte? Well, latte da. I love chai lattes. I don't know what a skinny one is, but oh, I love shortbread. Yeah. Cowboy at least sleeps with me and cuddles afterwards, after I rub his belly. Owned. That's right. Well, cats are just freaking different. What can I say? They're not dogs for Pete's sakes, and they're not humans. So what do we expect? they're going to have their ways. And apparently, their ways, they've never forgotten that they're actually royalty. Chairman Meow, yeah. Meow. Well, here's the cool thing is, yeah, there's this stuff that they sell at Aldi's, and it's in a box, but it's liquid, and it's called Dirty Chai Latte. And that is so good. That's a milk additive. You add it to milk. And it's an iced latte mix, basically. You mix it with milk. Is it good? Dirty chai latte. I forget what makes it dirty chai. Okay. I think it's because it has espresso in it. Yep. Yeah, they know they're royalty. There will always be royalty in their minds. They're royalty. And they always will be. Yeah. Yep. If you want to know things about self-esteem, watch your cats. Hey B, hey B. Oh Billy, the ocean. Oh Billy. Ah, yes, the spices, all the spices. Oh, I love me dirty chai. Oh yes, latte. You betcha. You know what? I think I'm gonna try some mudslide in with the dirty chai latte in with the milk on one of these occasions. Mm-hmm. Yeah, triple espresso, so you can be wide awake, and I'll put the alcohol in there so it can be a wide awake drunk. Uh, A.D. Billy E. Cause Billy Dean is not me lover. Ooh. Billy Dean is not me lover. Okay. Billy Dean? Billy Jean? Calling Billy Jean. Ah, hee hee hee. Yeah, wooey gooey things. That's right. We should be sipping hot chai together. Let's envision that and have that be a goal. One of our things that we intend. Someday we will be sitting around the hot tub, maybe in the hot tub, sharing chat about woo things and sipping chai lattes. Is James here? Hello, James. You haven't been abducted yet. Doggone, from the hospital. Doggone. That's too bad. You know what? I got it. I'm sorry, but it was very compelling. Roger was talking about, whoa, was talking about Jupiter being preggies. I'm gonna I'm gonna pull out the dice and see if they're gonna say anything about it. Maybe I'll pull out the cards too. See if they say anything about it. Yeah, I think I'll pull out the cards too. Wait a minute. What do they say? How's that going to affect us? First of all, is Roger right? Is Jupiter preggers and about to pop? Ah, introspection and goals. That's the West Shield. Well, that is fall, and that is also, it's not quite the time of rebirth yet. It's on the way. The bear, introspection. Okay. And goals. First of all, is Jupiter pregnant? As Roger believes. And it's the snake guarding its eggs. I kid you not. Yep. Oh, interesting. Snake. Somehow, maybe they do have a life cycle more like a snake, or a birth process more like that. Interesting. Wow. Because a snake, well, that's about shedding the old to make way for the new. That's and being sort of reborn. That's kind of a rebirth. And also because it has the eggs there, it's guarding its clutch of eggs. That is a card of healing, regeneration, and yeah, healing, regeneration, and a new start. Kind of looks like it. And the West Shield then is, why is the West Shield there? Okay, so it's in the third part of the cycle. Yep, I see. So yeah, that's far along. Uh, okay, so what does that mean for the Earth? Is it going to be any kind of trauma to us on Earth? Storyteller expansion. Well, that's good. Expansion is the meaning of Jupiter. So it kind of looks like no, it's so far that's looking like it's just telling us that it's going to be expanding. Yes, it will be an expansion. And it's going to be good news, actually. Something we're happy about. We'll want to tell everybody. That's the moose card. And we'll hear all about it, and we'll know all about it when it happens. But that's usually, yeah, you're glad about it. Okay. We'll be happy about it. Okay. Well, that's a good thing then. It's nothing to worry about. We're actually going to be happy with the result. Let's see if any of the dice. I'm only going to pick three. Yeah, I think I'll put them back in here and just pick out three. I don't want to read all of them. Shaking my sack. Okay. Three dice on Earth, on Jupiter being pregnant. Oh, here we go. That looks like a dragon to me. Yes. What have we just been talking about? Jester hat. The Fool could be interpreted as the Fool, or something that fools us, or the Fool as in a new beginning, like the Fool card. And a voyage of some sort. And a water voyage. A voyage by water. I'm going to keep going. And what else? That's some kind of a partnership. Okay. And a box. Looks like an open, but I think that's what this is supposed to be, is an open box. Box that's opening. Could it be Pandora's box or some other kind of box? Baby. Oh boy. Guess I'm reading them all anyway. A card full of something. So I'm not sure what that would mean. Um, so if I would put them, let's put them like this. A wishing well. And an old wizard. Wow. So there's the wishing well. There's the old wizard. So, which this may also be the card, the hermit. People have been getting the hermit card in a lot of readings. Anybody got any ideas what this is about? Ah, Shangri-La. Yes. You talking about Kashmir? Oh, let the sun beat down upon my face. Stars caress my ears. My pulse swimming. Yike. Yeah, New God in the Sky. Isn't that interesting? Let me look at, did Scotty make it? Oh, no, Chloe is summoning Scotty. Oh, Rose is not feeling good. Aw. Well, I hope neither one. I hope we don't get hit with the afterbirth or the baby. Mm, anyway, be water. I think I am only water. Yeah, Bruce Lee, Pandora. Interesting. A wishing well. Wishing well, kiss and tell. Wishing well. As a wheelbarrow. Oh, it's a wheelbarrow. I see. Cashmere and meerkats. Cashmere cats. Carrying a burden but not making it easier. Okay. Yes, let's send Rose some healing. Must be healthy and happy so these life things take priority. Okay, so we've got a dragon. I find that very compelling that we were just talking about dragons. A fool. A boat, which is a voyage by water. A partnership. A box, an opening box. A box that is coming open. A bassinet. A wheelbarrow. A wishing well. And looks like an old person with a staff, like maybe a wizard because it has a pointed hat. So, and it's magic. And the Hierophant is not the Hierophant, the Hermit is seeing things from a higher perspective. So, if you're looking at things from a higher perspective, yeah, I guess cosmically, that would definitely be a higher perspective. Wow. So, it's telling the story. These are amazingly insightful. So we get a wish, something we have wished for. A wish comes true. It almost seems to me, is that the new earth? You guys tell me. Is that what they're talking about? Wow. And then what effects? It's going to be like magical. There's a lot of magic in this. Wow. But I was saying out of the box. I was saying think out of the box. It's a box opening. Might not be Pandora's box. It may be thinking out of the box. Wow. And yeah, we'll have to completely change astrology, won't we? That'll completely shift astrology. Oh my goodness. Does anybody want to come in and talk about it? I'm gonna put or Jupiter's box. Whee! Okay. I'm gonna put it in there just so. There you go. So there it is. StreamYard, the StreamYard link if you want to come in and say anything about this. Wow. Eh, well, that is weird. I mean, we're heading into some really vastly weird times if that's the case. Uh, and that would also be why it would be very hard to explain, you know? I mean, imagine trying to explain that to people who were not, as up on things as we are, not not as savvy. How would you explain that? Wow. Hope they still have kittens in there. Well, maybe. Yeah, story does make sense. These story cubes are really awesome. I like them. I like them. I like them. Okay. Yeah, as a matter of fact, in some ways, I'm maybe getting some more meaning out of them than I am out of cards. Oh, I'm sure. We are magic. Yes, we are. Got to believe we are magic. Nothing can stand in our way. Got to believe we are magic. Don't let your head ever stray. And if we can survive, destiny will arrive and bring all your dreams alive for you. I think we're becoming magic already. And I think we're the ones that are going to show the rest of these people how to be magic. Or we turn into guys with dunce caps on. Mm. The whole idea of the dunce cap was to concentrate the energies of the universe to make the person smarter. That's what the dunce cap was for. That's why you have wizards and witches wearing that kind of hat. Okay? But it has a brim on it. But the dunce doesn't have the brim on it. So they felt that that was concentrate. When you look at the Anunnaki, the early stone carvings, they're wearing hats that have like a bunch of these wizard hats stacked on top of each other. That's the kind of hats they're wearing. You know what? It's funny because Paul has these geometric shapes that he makes. He was led to get kind of like tinker toys and building things and just kind of, with the just build some shapes and have them lying around his place and put things in those shapes. So he was really into sacred geometry. And so I got a hold of some stuff like that and made myself a pyramid. And it was just made out of wood and plastic. Actually, it might have been all plastic. All plastic, really, because yeah, the beads were plastic, not wood. And yeah, the beads were plastic and then they were like long straws. They were like, yeah, long plastic tubes. And I made this pyramid. And as soon as I got under that, I could feel it. I need to make a pyramid. But there's two kinds of pyramids, and that they're experimenting with. The other kind, there's the 80-degree pyramids, which are different from the regular pyramids. Up to 7 sets of horns. Mm. Well, there was some reason they had hats like that on. Those hats were doing something. They were. You know, that wasn't just fashion. Mm. Maybe we try that sort of thing. Maybe we need to try some of this stuff. Yeah. Because supposedly the effects change depending on the angle. Okay? Depending on the angle of the pyramid. But what if the pyramid was like the same thing that a cone does? What if the cone does the same thing as the pyramid? Huh. I think I'm going to make a pyramid hat. Interesting. Yeah. Oh, hi, Lewis. Yeah, it brings in energy. I am floaty as all get out tonight. I have been flying away the whole time I've been with you. Pretty much very soon after I started this stream, I just started flying away. I don't know what's going on with me tonight. There's some weird kinds of energy. I don't think it's bad. It's just really floaty. It's like I'm having trouble being inside my physical body. It's like I want to go out for a walk since we started talking about this stuff. I don't know. I don't know, Lewis. I'm gonna make a pyramid though. I'm not sure. Maybe, it'd be nice if I could get a selenite. Selenites throw so much light. Maybe selenite. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, different angles and angels and angles. Yeah, supposedly the 40-degree, it was different from the 80-degree or the 45-degree or whatever it was. I gotta look at that. at exactly what the measurements were, but there is an online thing which will give you a template for any geometric shape that you can print. I think I'm gonna see if I can go find it and see if I can get some kind of a pattern for a pyramid, and also get some kind of a pattern for the 80-degree pyramid. Really, you're sensitive to all crystals? I used to be so sensitive to crystals. Oh my goodness, I'm a little less so now. I'm a little more used to it all, but there was a point when I was so sensitive to crystals. Really, it was almost uncomfortable. I would go in a gym shop, and they'd all be talking to me, and they'd all wanna go home. I couldn't take them all home. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I have tons of crystals. But so what do you think, Chloe? Selenite? Yeah, I have, one day I'll have to show you all my crystals. I have a ton of crystals. I was selling them for a while. I have a beautiful record keeper crystal that has so many inscribed triangles on it that there are triangles on top of triangles. Yeah. Well, I worked for a while. I have worked. I used to be on the psychic fair circuit, and there was always vendors of these things with tons of crystals. And I would go to the Light Expo. Oh my God. And then I would go to the Gymboree, the gym shows, and I would, there was a time when it would like just flatten me. It was like, whoa. I mean, I loved it. I wanted to see all the stuff. I loved talking to the people and everything, but it was like, it was like sensory overload. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Selenite. Well, what I can see when I see selenite astrally is it reflects so much light. Yeah. It clears and charges other crystals. And it throws so much light that if you're fighting something dark, the dark stuff can't handle selenite because it blinds them and it hurts. Okay. So, I might get like a crystal bat or a crystal snake, or maybe like a selenite in the form of a snake, or maybe a bat. Those are regeneration and rebirth. Crystal bears, yeah. Cats would be nice too. Crystal cat. I have some crystal cats actually somewhere. I just gotta find. One day I'll bring out my gyms and I'll show them to you. Wow, now I can't stay still. I'm just feeling like I want to move around a lot. I can't hardly stay seated. Wow. Wow. I wonder what. Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna pop out of myself. Probably after the show's over and I close things down, I probably will pop out of myself and go somewhere. Let me check something. Okay. I have here a pendulum that I made. Okay. It has ruby zoisite, sugilite, in it. Okay. And I love ruby's wallside, by the way. I think it's a beautiful stone. So ruby's wallside. Okay. Show me yes. And I want you to see it, but okay. Let me see if I can get the camera on it where you can see it. Show me. Okay. Show me yes. Okay, now show me no. Okay. Okay. Is that the event? Is the birth of that new planet? Is that really it? That's the event. I thought so. And it looks like that's the real event, is the birth of a new planet. That's what the big event is. Yeah, I have to lay down for him most of the time. Oh, ruby and kyanite, that'd be pretty. Yeah, kyanite. And I love ruby's wallside. It's just the contrast of that rose, purpley rose red, and the green is so pretty. The ruby and the emerald color, and then a little black specks in there. So the contrast is so pretty. Um, Interesting. So we know what the real event is, and nobody else does. No wonder. And somehow Jupiter giving birth starts whatever it is in motion. That's the actual event. Wow. That's the big event. Okay. So let me double check. Okay. So let me check. Cowboy is a boy, and he is a cat. Yes. And okay. And Max is a girl. Max is a girl cat. Oh, it's not swinging now. It's not going to tell me. It's not doing anything. It's just there. It's like, are you kidding me? I'm not playing with you. I'm just testing. Okay, no. That's the event, fellas and guys and gals, and it's a birth. Hmm. Yeah. Lewis. Cool. That's great. Stillbirth? I hope not. That would be kind of sad. It's kind of sad when one doesn't work out. Oh, okay. So, wow, that was a lot of energy coming through, guys. That was a lot of energy coming through to get to that point. Hope you appreciate it. I feel so antsy. I don't know whether to go and get up and dance or whether I'm going to lie flat and hop out of my body. That is a major thing. And nobody is saying that. Nobody. Whoop! The bell just went off. Okay. Don't say, you heard it here first. If that turns out to be what's going on, heard it here first. Nobody else is saying that. Nobody else. If a dragon popped out, yeah, penis sized. Yeah, about our size. Yep, or Venus sized. Wow, wow. Oh, Max. I mean, John. Yeah, geez. Speculation about that is pretty wild. Whoa, whoa. Oh my gosh, I've got to shake my legs or something. I got to shake a leg. I got to shake both my legs just to wear off some of this energy. It's like when the cats get where the cats and dogs get the zoomies and they're just running and running and running and running and running and running around. I have to move. If I don't move, I'm going to like lose it. I have an excess of energy right now. Uh, yeah, you can dance until you come out of body and trance dance. Fancy, trancy, dancy. Said to be engulfed by flames. Venus? Uh, well, Venus, she's hot, all right. Hot stuff. Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's what the fires were about. We're only seeing pieces of it from old Earth. I think we're seeing bits of all of it. We'll stop seeing old Earth at some point. That'll all be gone. Wow. Yeah, I'm kind of half into some kind of a trance. What's going on? Oh, taka, mugit ka si Anto. Afaranto. Pengantia. Afano. Oto. Ikan mabatiando. Wanti yat sa tiyan. Supati ro ninus kaniriyon mo dia. Aya. Oto tia. Miya bada. Mpufa tikara. Ijaka an badia. Umkada. Andake sono mania skerodian diupa, ntukodoria, nirberskiria, nua, inora, indoeda, muribara sida, ovuria sida, nkotoria minana. Ribrian, utukura, inyoraria, umatiga, ntikea, mporororia. Pa, parira, ministri, venira, calari, ministri, mamberia, memporia. Ibra, Maria, Paradia, Inica, Patricia, Maria, Yara, oh, Everadia, Yara, Panita, Paradia, Calabria, Ia, my, Yara. Irabanik, Yavabarik, Ishmaria, Bagira, Patigia, Bada, Bemskidia, oh, Badia, oh, yeah, Megaria, Patricia, oh, yeah, Maria, Aya, Maria, oh, yeah, I am Lydia Kira, Yakira, Yakira, oh, yeah. Well, that was weird. And Cowboy came up here to that. He came up, "Yeah, Mom, what you want?" He's purring. He's like, "Hey!" And he likes it when I sing. What was that? Woohoo! That was some kind of song. Oh, I'm protected. Don't worry. Wow. Yeah, I'm speaking in some kind of tongue, star language or something. And here came Cowboy right up to that. He's like, "Oh, Mom's speaking in tongues. I love it when she sings." He's gonna come right up and he's purring. He's so happy. He loves it when I do that kind of thing. There he is. There's your adoring fans. What do you got to say to them, Mr. Cowboy? Got anything to say to your fans, or you just purrs? Purr, 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 purr. Okay, just purr, purr, purr. Oop, something fell off the table, so he wants to go chase it. He might go chase it now. But he's or are you up with Mom to get pets? You gonna get some pets in love, or you gonna go chase whatever that was? It looks like a little ball fell off one of your little toys. Yeah, baby. Mm. Yep, he's making biscuits. Yeah. I'm not sure what I was doing, but I was kind of singing in tongues. Kind of sounded like to me. Wonder what I was singing about. Maybe about exactly what we were talking about. But I feel better now. Oh, see, I feel much better now. I don't have quite the antsy feeling now. That must have been trying to come out for a while. Is there anything else? I'll just let it out. That way I won't feel so weird. Okay, so it must be something that my larger self wants to do. So, beg your indulgence. I'm just gonna let it rip. What taka? What dia? Itaka? Abareram toya. Tigabasa. Poriabriskinania. Itwato to. Vato to. Yakata. Intikobara. Ia. Firatakada. Mpraya. Litapaba. Ntokoba. Iratskadan mabdiga. Ifara bada bidukuta potanchakara karamomba. Dekarabariam particular manias, Carabaria materials in Materias, creative bridge, get up there, everywhere cheer and cover your barret, get calm of the Cabraviti, bridge copera. Cabararis, Caromanies, Canadian, Vada, Borashkara, or a Cabarian, Scotabria, Nipita, what I got, whatever these Cabravia, Scotomania, Nigara, Miraba, whatever is Scamini, Cabaria, Portucapa. Motivate work is Bravariam. Erotic Obara, Mbara, Mbaka, Moba, Mbo, Periodica Scadermania. Orea, Scadermania, it's called more out or Baraya, or every other. But yeah, but he's scared of the brevity of school, but Mamma Anima. Animatina, Mamma, I'm kidding, was such a million, but Jafarea. Libera, po, Yabarisco, Mania, Ora, Maria, Siberia, Maria, Granina, you got to go over here to Germanina, but if you're really, all right, you got Maria, you was so many any banta, you have ready, but I have a idea, was getting money up more, yeah, but you got to get ready, or yeah, the here from an idea. What do you boy, yeah, oh, what was you? Are motivate Harry, he's putting it up, nobody had he's got money and I get it up at that Mikoda. Mira pararia para mia sarcaria paria paroma, ere marasco mori greria ora para riscaveria mengia barbara whatever. Ora para scemani ne what ya paria paria scoria but meet what was paria. Arim, paria discover millium, paria scaria da. Okay. Oh, so much better. Oh, guys. Wow, I was about to jump out of my skin. Okay, from now on, when that happens, note to self, they have something they want to say. Was that, who is that? Was that my higher self? Was that our star brothers? Was that light language? Just to be sure, uh, just let me drop everything all over the place. Okay, so it was star language. Okay, is it also what they were calling light language? Yes. Very strong, very, very strong, yes. Very strong, yes. Light language, star language. Yes, and wow, look at the way that's swinging. That is really swinging strongly. So, okay, so calm down a minute. Let me ask another question. Was that some kind of a healing blessing type thing? Was it? Yes, some kind of a healing blessing type thing. Um, wow, it's just swinging like crazy. Okay, so was it? I don't even know what to ask. I don't know what to ask. That just feels like if I'm gonna look, wow, that was very powerful, and I feel like whatever it is still with me. Whoever asked about the song. Okay, hi Pam. That was the ancients like which create earth, life, etc. Ah, different language, same info. Wait a minute. Where'd the language come from? Changeling for a minute, your Shoshonian trail to orange, keeping humility. I, right, right. What about the song? Is anybody getting exactly what it was about? I'm trying to look back on the chat. How you doing, Pam? Oh no, it's coming up again. Okay, if I start saying things or chanting or whatever it is, you just know that's what happened, okay? Amatoka, Inta, Elfarenyanka, Inaga, Nankombada, Tada, Chikamaba, Itakomodara, Isamanikika, Maninika, Birika, Bobrata, Ifarankama, Oya, Ontukaria, Kia, Fariara, Kodaba, Itika, Umbariha. Yeah, it's a blessing. I don't know exactly, but it is some kind of blessing. It's some kind of because we came up with it. It's a sacred event. It's a secret sacred event. Almost nobody knows about that. Well, you guys heard it first. Here we go. It's the event, I think. And we just heard all about it, whatever that is. Okay, I think what I'm getting is whether or not you know what the words mean, your spirit knows what that means. And you got the message, even though you don't consciously know you did, whether you did or not, you got it. So I would say, look in your meditation, look in your dreams. Please let us know what you get. Yeah, yeah. To protect our new earth. I got that too with some kind of protection. Did anybody else get anything from that? Yeah, I think the song is some sort of blessing. It was a blessing, like, yes. Yeah. Oh, maybe we should do a remote view. Maybe we should. Just take a little just take a little look at some of this, if you think so. It was, well, we didn't really do a remote view, Pam. What I did was I just burst into light language. Yeah, I think so too, Chloe. The golden age. Wow. The energy is immense. I'm still feeling it, but at least I'm not antsy like I was before. I'm not feeling like I'm going to jump out of my skin or anything, or but I still feel like I'm going to float away. Yeah, you know what it feels like? It feels like I'm in some kind of fluid, like I'm floating on some kind of fluid. It's very interesting. Anybody else getting anything? Trying to see if I can see anything. Can I see anything? You gonna show me something? Where am I? What am I floating in? Or am I picking up on the amniotic fluid? It feels like fluid. Travel, fluid, fluidity. Yeah. Wow. We're all, oh, are we all getting born again? Whee! But in a whole different way than the Christians are thinking of it. They used fluid to do that. They used water. They baptized people in water. Yeah. Is that it? I'm picking up on the birth. I'm picking up on the baby, maybe? The baby planet? Wow, cool. Hey, you guys, see if you can pick up on it. You can remote view. Yeah, yeah. I think you are, Chloe. I think you are picking it up. I think so. Wow, you do understand. Okay. So you're like a translator. You're gonna like be our translator. Cool. So you're like Nichelle Nichols in the classic Trek, right? You're like uh Uhura, our communication officer. Hailing frequencies open, Captain. Oh my gosh, that's cool. Maybe we can fire the shaman? Wait a minute, I'm the shaman. Trey, you're trying to fire me? Or are you just looking to get called out? Because I didn't call you, did I not call you out when you came in? Maybe I didn't. Yeah. Well, you can't fire the shaman. You can't fire the shaman. You can't squeeze the shaman either. Please don't squeeze the shaman. Unless it's a nice hug. Yes. Wow. Wow. Well, and you guys were here for it. You were here for it. Wow. Is there any more? Maybe a little more. I still feel a little of that energy. You ready, Chloe? The counting countess communications officer. Right. That means Louis Ta gets to be Sulu. Yeah. You can feel it though. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else you want to say? I'll just be here for you. No, no, ganta. Bikataka, mpobeteka, tikapa. Oforea, tiganara. Oforea, kisabania, tukopanera. A photo, Ibarakis Foria, Yirvaskiniam, Batekatukopa. If Abira, Eshiramana, Yamana, Yamana Kavakoskamani, Skiparadia Skormora. Varia, Ria Portorigo, Ivan Dideriam, Bioskormonica. In God, Bogafon, Popad, you popped at Catcapadanapa. On Fariam, Popri Hatskiriam, Mitkapa, Ua, Kiragara. Ikirama, Nibarhamam, I am a go for a bit of I am by getting it up. Oh, whatever I get somebody warrior, but he get a barrier. Ninga bam, yes, come money up in the bomb. Oh, I got a fire. Oh, I whatever I have. I am whatever I have and go for it. But yeah, body got a year. Yeah, yeah, but I go, yeah. Ah, yeah, but that, okay, I got this thing in my hands. I don't know what it is. What is this thing? Some kind of energy. I can feel it. It's like right here. and it looks blue-green, kinda to me. Can you guys see this? Anybody see this but me? Or is this just me? Can the camera see this, or can you see this with your third eye? What the heck is this that I'm holding? Wow, Chloe's understanding it. I'm so thankful for Chloe now. That is gonna help us tremendously to know what she's saying exactly, because I can kind of feel it, but it's so hard for me because it's all wrapped up together, you know? So, what do I do with this? Open it, D. Okay. Right. Okay. Release the gifts. Release the gifts. Okay. Okay. Here you go. Wow. Ah, wow. It's like this big arch over my head, like all kinds of things. And then I see what is it? The 10 of Cups card kind of flies by, and then, but it's like there's like all kinds of energy flying out. Wow. Huh. Okay. Okay. Can I move now? Okay. Well, I feel so much better. I'm so much more relaxed now. Oh, yeah, I feel like something happened there. Something major. Now I feel warm. I feel like something is wrapping around me. Something warm is wrapping around me. And I feel some very strange sensations in my hands. And and I don't even have to do any drugs in order to have all this kind of thing happen to me. Um, boy, there's some hippies that would pay dearly for this. But I'm making jokes, but this is pretty intense. Pretty intense, my friends. Wow. Something is going on with my hands. Maybe I got some new kind of gift with my hands. Maybe. Yeah, that did something. Hmm. Well, I'm definitely in another realm now. Yeah, it's like I'm not in the same place I was when I started that. I'm in a different place now. This is a different place. It's different. And I'm doing this live on all over YouTube. Wow. So this is different. Way different. I'm so glad I could be with my family. I'm so glad I could be with you. Yes, I do. I really do. It's time. Well, I'm doing what I'm here to do. That is for sure. What more can we ask? To serve the purpose, do what we came here for, to elevate humanity, to help them out of prison. I kept hearing tonight there's going to be a jailbreak. It's funny how they talk to us, isn't it? Usually through music. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I think I'm going to have to do more of this. I think this is going to be a kind of a regular feature from time to time. I'll tell you what happens with these. Um, Whatever it is, it's settling down a little now, but they feel different. My hands feel really different. And you're right, I'm going to have to be careful. Watch where you point that thing, huh? And wow. Wow, I guess I'm just going to sit around saying wow for the next, 5 minutes. That's going to be boring, YouTube. Like, we got anything to talk about? Yeah, this is a new beginning for me. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah. I'm different now. I'm different. I can feel that. I'm not the same. And I'm not in the same place. And I'm not the same person I was. This is another part. And yet it's still me somehow. And now I feel like there's some kind of, I feel like I have really long hair and it's going all the way down my back. I can kind of feel it. It's like I am maybe my other self, maybe one of my other selves. I feel, yeah. Wow. Prepare to be amazed. Seriously. Cool. Yeah, Rapunzel. Rapunzel. Rapunzel escaped via her hair. right? No, that was right. Her prince came up her hair. Mm, I gotta read that story again, maybe. Yeah, I feel like I have really long hair all the way down my back. Mm. And my eyes are just something's going on with my eyes too. And it's like it's like there's energy. This is really weird. I'll try and describe it for you guys so that oh, I'm gonna have to get Kleenex or something. My nose is running like crazy. Yeah, it's like I'm seeing these wavy lines. I think it's energy lines. Wow. I've seen him before, once in a while, like when Paul was doing his services. He's doing some oneness blessing services and some other thing. I've seen him, but I'm seeing him in my mind. But my eyes are also doing funny things. Okay, so I have a feeling my body's going to take a while to adjust to this. Definitely. I mean, I just got hit with a lot of energy there. Well, what happened with yours? I don't know. It's just weird. There's a funny, like I shiver, almost like things are doing that. Yeah, I think I might be like picking up on the vibrations or something. Yeah. The eye thing, I have a feeling that's going to be there for a while. Getting that adjusted, getting adjusted to that rather. Yeah. Also, I have to be careful what I do with my hands and my feet. Hmm. Oh, light orbs and headache. Yeah, Lewis. Yeah, I know what you mean. Fortunately, I don't have a headache. But then again, you know what? I'll tell you what. You don't want the headache? Clean out as much stuff as you can from do your shadow work. Clear out as much stuff as you can. You won't have the headache thing as much, right? Because it's usually trapped stuff in there that's giving you the headache. It's some kind of resistance. So if you can get rid of that, and I already did a boatload of work with that. Believe me, a lot of hard work. Shadow work's hard work, I tell you. The Excel sign up in a grocery store for like say some soda. Um, oh, you mean like a marquee? Are you talking about like a marquee when you announce something? And like a theater marquee that has lights all around the edge. Yeah, that's what that kind of looks like. Hmm. Cool. Well, so I look kind of different, huh? Kind of, I guess I would should expect that. I should expect that. Bright neon blue, but dark blue. And then there was a small space that would appear like black, and then there was a smaller one. It was orange, and then sharks have shut down a beach in San Diego. Wow. You mean sharks are suddenly showing up that haven't been there before? Wow. That we're gonna see a lot of weird and anomalous stuff. I'm convinced of that. You're gonna see anomalies all over the place. And I further think that we're gonna see animals that haven't been seen in millions of years, maybe extinct animals showing up again and stuff, all kinds of weird things. I think we're going to see some really, really weird stuff in the next like year or so. But you know what? I've been getting all these readings like you're moving. I'm not moving house. I don't have any plans to move house. But what if it is moving to the new earth? What if that's the moving? Mm, yeah. All right. And you guys are here with me. I'm so happy about that. Um, I'm here with my family. That's wonderful. Oh, darn, yeah, the dolphins beaching themselves, probably because magnetic fields are shifting. I'm hoping that they got the new calibration, though. Let's send the dolphins and the other cetaceans and calibrations. Say, hey, make sure they have the right calibration for the magnetic shift so they don't hurt themselves. I don't want to see them being hurt. Yes, angels, you know what to do. Protect them and protect the people at that beach. Well, Wow, 144, Louis. 144. Yes. Nothing less of perfect. 144,000. You know that's the number they always say. They say that's the number. That's the magic number of enlightened people that shifts everything. I'm very happy about all this. Wow. Wow. Whoever, whatever. That was so much energy. That was just like, I better work on opening up the pipes, the conduits, to let more in. I have a feeling that's not the end. Not by a long shot. That's just the beginning. I'm going to have to open up the pipes bigger. Well, Louis, if I heal that, they won't be beached. 144.